Hi and welcome to the Jack Doyle Recreational Center, where we're going to see the Algonquin Wolves taking on the Georgian Grizzlies. I'm Seth Poirier. Alongside me in the booth is the one and only Lucas Gallen. Lucas, two teams here today that are really making a push for the playoffs. We're going to talk a bit about yesterday's game and get in more in that detail. So yesterday, Algonquin really lost very, very bad against Seneca yesterday. Lost in 3 sets, and Algonquin, the second set was the most points they scored with 17, but set number 1 and set number 2, they scored 12 and 13 points. So not a good day if you're a Wolves fan and if you're a Wolves women volleyball player, but they got to find their rhythm back. They had some stuff going. Now they're on the 1-game losing streak. You know, they're 10-5. They're sitting good in the East at 3rd, and they're 7th in the province, but yesterday's was not their day.
Well, I mean, I was on play-by-play yesterday, Seth, and let me tell you, the one word that I used to describe both matches for our Wolves is disappointing. We've seen them play really well. We've seen them absolutely dominate any team that comes here, but yesterday, it was like the script was flipped. They didn't know what they were doing. I'm talking about the unforced errors that I saw, the poor services that I saw, the lack of defense. They only started defending the net after the second set.
And a lot of times, if the team that wins the first set, that carries a lot of momentum. We saw that against Durham last week, and that was a big thing for the team. And they got it, but then they end up losing it deep down the stretch. But they start off hot. When you start off hot, you have that momentum. It carries over. But yesterday was not their day. Not able to really get the points that they're used to getting. They're used to producing a lot of points, and they're not even able to get past 17, like I mentioned. So that's not a lot of points here. So let's see today versus the Grizzlies if they can really produce a lot of points where we know they can do, right?
Yeah, it should be a more even matchup today. Like we said yesterday, it's such a strong, powerful team. It's the predisposition coming in. We're probably going to lose. They're better than us.
Seneca's undefeated. Seneca it still is as of right now, right?
But if we played just that 10% better, would have been a different outcome. I reckon we would have won yesterday, both teams.
It goes both ways. Volleyball's a game where the team that does really the less mistakes is the team that's going to win. We talk about both teams. You know, both teams coming in this one having a loss streak. Algonquin lost yesterday against Seneca, and Georgian has lost back-to-back games. One against George Brown, going 3-2 in 5 sets, and losing 3-1 against Seneca. So we have Algonquin lost 3-0, and we have the Grizzlies, who were able to get 1-set victory against Seneca in their last game. But you know, both teams are looking to get back on the win column, as the Grizzlies, you know, they're 4-3 away, 5-3 at home, and Algonquin, you know, they got to find a way to win more games at home and produce from there. But we got the 7th place team in the province going up against the 10th place team in the province. So both teams are really good in that aspect. And you know, we got teams in if we put in perspective, service ace per set, we got Algonquin with 2.6. They're in 2nd place in OCAA, and we got in 3rd place with the Grizzly with 2.44. So both teams are really side by side in multiple stats, but Algonquin carries over in the kills per set, 3rd in OCAA with 11.89, 3rd in the OCAA in hitting percentage with .278, as well with 15.16 digs, which is good for 2nd in OCAA. So the Grizzlies have a lot to handle coming over from this Wolves team. So for them, they got to really find a way to get a win. It got a win for them. You know, they're 5th in the East. They're 2 games. They're 2 places behind Algonquin. Algonquin is not. You know, they're 9-6 at the Grizzlies, and Algonquin's 10-5. That's only 1 game separating the two. So if Grizzlies win this one, the record's tied, and Georgian would have the upper hand over Algonquin. So this is a big game for Algonquin, but an even bigger game for the Grizzlies, because when we're looking at playoffs, you know, when the seeding's going to come out soon, and you don't want to be in that middle pack or towards the bottom. You want to be in those top 4 spots to have a home playoff game.
Yeah, just like the NHL, every game matters right now. Again, playoffs coming up soon. I'm hoping to see a nice, clean, Wolves swift victory here today, but you never know until they start playing.
100%. And we mentioned playoffs, and both these teams looking to climb up in the East and in the province. You know, 3rd in the East, Algonquin, they got to keep going. You know, they have Durham above them and Seneca above them. They're 2 games behind Durham, so they got to start. If they can get a win here today, they can secure almost secure themselves the 3rd place in the East, which would be great for them. And if you're Georgian, you got to win. A win here today means a lot for you in coming in that fourth and third spot in the East if you end up beating Algonquin today. Both teams can play very well. We talked about Algonquin playing very well on the net, hitting very well, and the kills were very well. Yesterday was not in the equation for them, but we know they can do it. Grizzlies got to find a way to really get something going offensively. They're 13th in OCAA in hitting percentage with .155. So they got to find a way to really get something going. Both teams do a lot of kills, 11.89 like I mentioned for Algonquin and 10.49 for the Grizzlies. But the Grizzlies got to find more offense.
Yeah, I mean, one of the big downfalls of our Wolves is the errors you're giving away. You're at the net, you go for a spike, and whoops, hit it out. We got to minimize the amount that happens, and that could lead to a nice victory. If you give up 5 points per match, that's 5 free points you're giving away. It's not a good look.
Algonquin is 20th in OCAA with 182 errors. If you look on the other side, the Grizzlies are first in errors with 327, and a lot of those errors are coming off serve errors as well. They're first in OCAA in service errors with 219, but they're also first in the OCAA with service aces. So they get a lot of serve falling for them, but they get a lot of serve falling for the other team, as well as they're first in attack with 2019. So Grizzlies can hit the ball. It's just how well they do it. That's the question here today.
Yeah, first in errors, like you mentioned, but it's all about the mind games on the serve. Is he going to hit it way too hard? If I let it go out, is it going to go out of bounds, or is it going to stay in play? You know, they may have the highest error stat, but it's going to be a brutal showcase of minds out here.
And key players for Georgian, Ashton Smith, libero for this Georgian team. 4.2 digs per set. So look for her to really get some stuff going, especially on the defensive side and starting that offense for her team. As well as Haley Carroll, 2.49 kills a set, 2.33 digs a set as well. Hit percentage of .164. So she can get a lot of offense going, especially if Smith can get the ball up and get some nice touches for her team. And if you switch over for Algonquin, we can't go away from mentioning Chanel ATA, Tentori, Lozon, as well as Paquette. Those 4 players produce a lot of great numbers for this Algonquin's team, not just on the offensive side, on the defensive side as well. But we can't shy away from talking about how well they play offensively, and that starts with the dig being up, setting up, the second touch, and a lot of great attacks coming from the left or right side. And a lot of times we get some great points starting from that right there.
Yeah, if you're in the stream yesterday, you tuned in. I have some beef with ETA. I was talking to her downstairs about the choice of music that they're playing here, but otherwise, no complaints from her. Always there on the dig, always there to prep. But what I want to mention is that yesterday we saw a lot of fakes. She was an opt for a 2-touch instead of a 3, going 1 fake, 2 fake. I'm hoping to see a lot more of that, but it's got to be followed up with great blocks.
Ashlyn Smith is first in the OCAA in digs per set and first in total digs with 248. So she's a very great defensive player for this Grizzlies team. And Tentori is second in OCAA with 0.70 service aces per set and .01 away from being first in the OCAA in service aces per set. Both teams looking to get stuff going. Not a big fan of country, huge fan of the country music. We'll see which team can get things going here tonight. We'll get right down here. It's also senior night, so don't go away. We'll bring you a sneak peek to who the seniors are here. There's 4 of them for the women's team, and we'll get right back to the action. Don't go anywhere.
Doyle Athletic and Recreation Center for today's OCAA Volleyball doubleheader featuring the Georgian Grizzlies. And your Algonquin We would like to remind everyone that your attendance in this event entitles you to enjoy athletics in an educational setting. We ask that you please show your sportsmanship by positively encouraging student athletes, respecting the decisions of the coaches and officials, and being considerate of other spectators. As guests, the Algonquin Student Association acknowledges that today's event is taking place on the traditional, unceded, unsurrendered territory of the Anishinaabe Algonquin people. Today, 4 of our women's volleyball players will be playing in their final home regular season game in an Algonquin Wolves uniform. Please join me in welcoming head coach Everton Sr. for a brief presentation.
Every time I get a mic in my hand, I want to laugh or response or something. I'll keep you guys straight. So anyhow, I just like to thank everybody for coming out today. It's been a great year, culminating with what I'm hoping is going to be a great match, a great opponent. So let's hope we have a really good match today and play ball. Okay, so we are here to graduate for seniors today who have all been an integral part of our team one way or another. So I guess I'll just get right into it and start with our first one. Been with us for 3 years. First day she came into the gym on she was a walk-on. I watched her for 10 minutes and I remember turning and saying to everybody, that girl's going to be starting for us for the season. And she didn't disappoint. Still has a long way to go, but she has come so far in her volleyball. She has become just a very key part of our team. Really, really appreciate having her. Very coachable and just a really great person overall, which is probably the most important thing. I'd like to invite Isabella and Toronto to come on up. Very infectious laugh that just kind of makes your day when you hear her laugh for some reason. You know she sounds a little tiny. It's a great laugh, and this person came on, and all she's done in the 3 years is improve year by year. Been an unfortunate circumstance of having a couple of other really good players in front of her, but never never stopped her from working, never stopped her from putting in her best effort, and was always very encouraging to the team, and definitely is going to be very, very missed. Ella Howe, third person, first time I met her, we were playing, she was coaching, helping me coach a club team, and then her, the head coach at the time came over and said, got a girl who might be interested in playing with you, and was kind of halfway through the season, and she came out, had a couple of practices with us, and then we basically took a team vote to see, I said, we're not going to take somebody unless we, at this point of the year, if we really think that she can be instrumental to the team, and I think it was a unanimous vote that everybody wanted her on the team, and she's never looked back since then. She's been with us for 3.5 years, basically, and 1 year we ran shot in COVID times, but just a great person, someone that the others could look towards to be a leader, and just been a really, really important part of our team, and we're going to miss her as well. Natasha Rosen. Our fourth person is, let me do a quick calculation, 1, 2, 3. She is the 5th person to do 5 years with the team, which is really saying something, not only about her, but about the program as well. I know there's been times where it's been really tough on her. She's been whether she would continue on or not, but she's always decided she was a wolf and was continued to be that. And she has, kind of watched from the sideline for a couple of years and has slowly morphed into one of the better liberos in our division. She's some great spectacular gigs, which I hope there's several more today, but and she's been our captain for the last 2 years, and with good reason, and she's just really been integral to the team, and again, will be missed very much. Jordan Bragg, come on up.
the same professional.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. Cal tombraste forte le veille, il sepolte l'acqua. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
And welcome back to the Jack Doyle Recreational Center here in the Capital Region. I'm Seth Porter. Alongside me once again is Lucas Gallen. We just saw a seniors night here for both volleyball teams. We had the women, now we'll have the men during before the men's game. The four women who are graduating here and playing their last regular season game, I should add, because there will be playoffs, is Ella Howell, Jordan Fag, Isabel Tarango, and Natasha Lozone. Those four players are graduating, playing their last regular season game as the Algonquin Wolves. Now, I want to shout out Everton Senior. During the win against Loyalists on January 31st, he amazed the 300th career regular season win. What a accomplishment for Everton Senior. What a accomplishment for the Algonquin College Wolves, getting their coach to a 300th win here. Hopefully they can make that 301 here this afternoon, Lucas. We're set here with the Grizzlies wearing their white uniforms, their liberos wearing the blue, going left to right here for the first set, and Algonquin in their black uniforms, the liberos wearing the white, going right to left here to start it off. Starting lineups for the Grizzlies were announced. Starting lineup for the Wolves being announced right here. Algonquin. And the Grizzlies set here for the last regular season volleyball game for both squads. As of right now, Algonquin is sitting in 3rd place and will be playing St. Lawrence in the playoffs here at home. And Georgian is sitting at 5th place and would play Canadore, who would be traveling to Canadore because Georgian is 5th as of right now. So big game for Georgian. They win here, they could finish 4th, potentially 3rd as well, depending on what Canadore does. And Algonquin, they win. They solidify pretty much the third seed in the East. First serve goes up here.
The top 5 or top 6 that make it into the playoffs?
Top 8.
Top 8.
Great rally going on here for the first time here. As both teams getting the ball over the net here. First point, Algonquin. What a first rally and what a first point for the Wolves.
We're gonna start off the match with a nice and long rally here.
Over the net it goes, this one here. Off the net and Grizzlies get it over. Fag here. Paquette. Tarango missing that attack, and the Grizzlies will get the 1 point there and tie this game back up 1-1.
Getting a substitution here for Jordan. The lid is off. Number 4 is off. 13 is on.
Brooklyn Smith to serve here. St. Louis up, and nice play by Gabby Paquette, seeing the open area in the middle of this Grizzlies defense, and she knocks it down on the second touch. 2-1 Algonquin. Chanel Eitze up to serve.
Now, Seth, I know you weren't here, but again, yesterday it was like this for the entirety of the men's game. It was 1 point lead, maximum of 2 points every now and again. Great back and forth.
Left side it goes, attack, and it's saved up here from the Grizzlies. Ashton Smith getting that one here. Tentor sending over from the Wolves. Fag up to Paquette. Tarango knocks it over. Smith sends it off to her teammate here, Emma Cott, and that one hits the net as the Wolves get the 2 point lead. ATA right back to serve here.
Service is up.
Good serve by Eitze. Grizzlies get it over. And that one is deflected at the net by Tarango. And it will be Grizzlies' point, as it will be. It will be number 9, Patricia Sajda here. And her serve goes. Eitze digs it up. St. Louis misplays that one and touches the net. It will be off the pole here, and 3-3 as this game is tied back up.
Back-to-back unfortunate plays here, Seth. Misplay on the block attempt and not making it over the net. Service is up. And it is no good. Hits the net. That's going to be a point for the Wolves.
And talk about the Wolves playing great here to start, but the Grizzlies really playing a great game. So both these teams are going to see each other and see how well their game plan have been throughout the week of practice. Algonquin played yesterday against Seneca. They're playing against Georgian here as of right now. So it's going to be interesting to see these two teams' game plan. What do you think Grizzlies come in here, especially the first set, they want to do?
I mean, I'd want to set the tempo, right? If you, like you mentioned earlier when we were on cam, having that first set under your belt is what's going to allow you to snowball for the rest of the match. But the Wolves won't go down without a fight.
That indeed here, as Lozon will be on here for Grace Pate. Paquette here serving for the Wolves. Over the net it goes. Smith gets it up here. Over the net it goes. Fag to Lozon, right side. Deflected at the net, and Smith cannot dive in time to receive that one. And it will be the Wolves 6-4. Paquette will reserve here.
Poor communication on that block there, not identifying that the ball is going over. Service is up here, makes it over, and another back-to-back-to-back. Poor blocking here from the Georgian. I'm not liking what I'm seeing, not one bit. 7-4. Developing a nice early lead here, up by 3 of the Wolves. Ball's up. Great dig here from our Wolves. 1, 2, 3, and it is out of the ballpark. Giving up service, it's going over to Georgian. Service will be provided by number 13, Tasha Bakes, hailing from Milton. Bakes walks up, serves up. Dug up, 1-2, love tap in the lines here, getting another point for the Wolves. 8-5, up by 3 once again. Service for the Wolves, 8-5, ball's up. 1, 2, 3, going for the spike.
Lozo on the right side, gets hers deflected, comes right back to the back line. Algonquin sends it over. Paquette, Tentor here. Etienne will send it over off the left side. Diving is Smith.
Great digs here from the Wolves and a nice kill shot there. Nine to 5, Dolly Parson score. You know the song?
No, I don't here as Algonquin serving it once more. Smith up to Roy. Smith here will get the point for Georgian. 2 Smith on this Georgian team, Brooklyn Smith and Ashton Smith. Number 4 Ashton and number 7 Brooklyn.
The whole Smith's family here.
Roy serving that one up. Paquette, Loza on the right side. Roy digs it up. Smith going to get it here. Etienne with the nice attack, and it goes over off the fingertips of Brooklyn Smith, and Algonquin gets the 10th point of the night. First team to hit double digits here, and it will be Riley Lancia who will serve it for the Wolves.
Another poor misplay. Seems to me, Seth, that blocking is not the strong suit here in this match, but we'll see how the play further progresses.
Etienne's attack gets blocked here from the Grizzlies, sending over Algonquin, able to still. Roy, backline, Sajda.
It's dug up there, and it gets slammed down here by Smith. You know, I did mention the commentator's curse. It always happens. I mentioned poor blocking, but it seems to me that they heard me. 10-7 for our Wolves service, Georgian. Going to be Haley Carroll serving it up.
Carroll's serve goes out of play, and we talked about in pregame show, number 1 ranked team in the OCAA in service errors with 219, and right there add another one to that score as they miss a serve there. Low zone serving it up here for the Wolves.
Going for the fake there, but it's not in the line. Unfortunate with these unforced errors here. Could have been a very close, lead developed by the Wolves now, but instead down by 4.
Low zone sending over. Smith will send it back on top here. Roy outside to Brooks. Off the net it goes, and it will be Algonquin who gets the ball there and will get the point. 13-7 Algonquin lead. Look for head coach for Georgian, Danielle Tam, to call timeout, and she is going to do that very soon, I do believe so. Low zone, serving it over the back line. That serve is not good for the Wolves and giving 1 point right back to the Grizzlies. Brooklyn Smith with the serve here, 0.34 serve aces per set. That one goes, St. Louis to Paquette, to Rango, and its last touch made by Carroll, and the Wolves will get the point there as Smith will exchange spots on the court here.
Seth, it looked to me like that one might have been going out, but we can't know. It's bad view from up here, a little bit too steep. Service is up for the Wolves.
It's over the net it goes. Roy goes back and gets it, and this one hits the net. And it will be Algonquin who will get the point there.
He will continue to serve 15-8. Ball's up.
That serve goes out of play. And right there, we mentioned it how many times that Algonquin will get points and will give it right back to their opponent. And that's not what you want at all.
No, it's a bad look here for the Wolves, but again, they are up by 6 right now. They can afford to make mistakes, but hopefully they can lessen that out. Speaking of mistakes,
send it right back and make that 2 missed serves for Georgian, as they're one of the top teams. They are the top team in service errors in the province, and right there they get another one.
It's all about the mind games here, Seth. If you can get away with a nice strong service, then you might as well go for it.
Serve is up here. Right from the right side, Bake sends it over. Tarango to Luzon. Roy here will send it up over to Brooks, and Brooks will get the point for her squad. And she's able to get the Grizzlies to 10 points on the afternoon in this first set.
Lead is slowly shrinking. Service number 10 here.
Brooks on the serve.
Ball's up.
St. Louis up to Paquette. Over the net it goes from Tantori. Ite diving to get that one, and she cannot get there in time, as it will be Carroll on the attack there, giving the point to the Georgian Grizzlies. Brooks once again on the serve here. 16-11. Brooks' serve goes way out of bounds to the left, and it will be Algonquin who gets the point here, as they hit 17 points, and yesterday they were only able to get to 17 once, and it was in the second set against Seneca. So better at doing that here today, getting those points. Roy. Nice attack here from Carroll on the left side, and Algonquin on the right position to receive that attack. And that's been one of the biggest questions here for Algonquin, and is how they come on up from the defensive side and get going offensively. Ite up to Paquette, outside. Tantori, Lancia saves it. That one almost saved here from Tantori, but it will be Grizzlies who get the point there off the deflection, and it will be Grizzlies serving it here.
Yeah, Roy going on a service hot streak here for her team, delivering 3 points.
St. Louis diving for this one. Lozon from the left side will set it up. And over it goes from Brooks from the back line. Tantori with a nice attack here. Lozon leaves it. And great decision from Natasha Lozon, one of the 4 seniors for this Algonquin Wolves women volleyball team, leaving that one to fall out of bounds. That's what you call IQ in sports, and IQ in the volleyball game.
Yeah, courtside IQ goes a long way, especially with 4 years of experience minimum here for our Wolves.
Smith sends it over, up to Fag. Lancia to Etier. And the Grizzlies are able to save it, sent it over by Brooks. Paquette to Etier. That one's blocked by Smith at the net and Roy. And a miscommunication between Fag and Etier. And that ball falls down, and it will be a point for the Grizzlies. Substitution here is made.
Yeah, I think both players may have touched it. They weren't sure if they were on the double touch call, if they went for it.
St. Louis up here to Paquette. That one's misplayed, but Lozon taps it over. Carroll outside. Lancia with a nice job jumping up, getting hands involved, and it will be, or they change it last minute, it will be Georgian who gets the point there. He said Lancia had her arms over the net.
It's a net violation there.
And exactly that, 18-15 Georgian closing in on the Wolves. 3 points separating both these teams. Serve goes over the net here. Paquette will get it. And ATA sends it over. Roy across to Carroll. St. Louis. Backline Tantori. And that one falls inside the quarter play. And the Wolves will get the point here as St. Louis will get off here as Tarango is on the court for the Wolves. Serving in this one is Lancia. Lancia serve is good, and it's a point for the Wolves, 20-15. What a serve from Lancia. As we have another substitution as Brooks for Georgian will sub off here for Georgian, and I do believe that is number 8, Emma Cott, who's on the court here for Georgian. Paquette to ATA, and ATA with a lot of power from the left side. Roy will send it off to Carroll, and that one is blocked at the net by Tarango, but misplayed, and that ball hits the ground.
Not sure if it hit the ground, if it was a double touch violation there. I'm hard of seeing, Seth. Still looking for that timeout here from the Georgian coach, up by 4 on the Wolves service, Georgian.
Carroll, over the net it goes. Tentori sends it up to Paquette. Loza from the right side, little tap, and Tarango will be able to send it over. Nice job from Tentori and Paquette with St. Louis sending it over. As Georgia thought they had an area, and they do have an open area, as Tarango gave herself a little too much room when she went for that blocking attempt. But what a play from the Wolves, creating a lot of good for their team. But they almost got broken down defensively, and Georgian took advantage of that. Look for them to take advantage of that even more during this game, Lucas.
Yeah, I mean, the number one thing that you can do is take advantage of any mistakes for the opposition here, and right now that's what the Wolves have been doing. They're on a hot streak, but it's being ended by an unforced error. 21-17 for the Wolves. 4 more points for the set.
Pate up to serve. And it goes over the net. Ashton Smith diving to get this one. Over the net, Carroll sends it. Fag to Paquette. Tarango! And that's a great touch and a great point for the Wolves as Grace Pate serving it once more for the Wolves. She was injured for the last couple of games with an ankle injury as she gets back into action. 22-17, Georgian takes a timeout. Is it going to be too late? 22-17, Lucas, I don't know. We'll see here after the timeout. We'll be right back. Wolves lead by 5. And we're back here with Grace Pate at the serve line for the Wolves, looking to close this first set out. Pate. Serve goes over the net here. Misplayed from the Georgian Grizzlies. Ashton Smith could not get a good hand on that one. And Grace Pate gets a serve ace right there for her squad. What a play from Grace Pate, and she goes right back to the serve line here.
Looking for 2 more points to secure the set here.
Roy up, blocked at the net, received by HCA. Will it be saved by Paquette? And it will not. And the Grizzlies are not backing down here as they're down, but they're not down by much. Down by 5 once again, but they're back at the serve line. Brooklyn Smith here. She's a good server for her team, serving it up here. Paquette, nice play by Gabby Paquette, as there was a wide open gap in the middle of this Georgian Grizzlies defense, and Paquette setting up her teammate. She just puts the ball right where it needs to be into perfect play.
That's what I was talking about. It's those minimal touch plays when you opt to go instead of for 3, you go for 2, mixes them up. Serving for the set here.
Chanel Etier, 0.31 serve aces per set. Smith sends it up to Roy. In the middle here as Etier sends it up. And the Wolves off Tantori's attack from the left side will get the win here from the first set. And they get a well-needed win here as they were not able to get a win last night. And they get a win here. 25-18 is your final score of the first set. The Wolves looking to keep this momentum up going into the second set as we switch sides here. Lucas, what's your biggest takeaway from the first set?
Just loving the clean play here from the Wolves. You know, early on in the set, there wasn't really much blocking, much communication going on, but we made it here with some great hooking plays going on.
And we saw this game coming here. We said this game is a big game. We talked about it all week. We said how important Seneca was as well, but how important this Georgian game was, because this could mean a lot in the playoffs here. And back in November, Georgian did play Algonquin. It was in Georgian's home court. Georgian won 3-2 as it was very close. Algonquin going 25-17 first set. Georgian taking the second one, 25-21. Third set, Georgian takes it 25-22. Algonquin takes the fourth, 25-20, and then Georgian wins it 15-13 in the fifth set. So very close game from these teams back in November, but we just saw it first set finish 25-18 for the Wolves. Well, they won the first set in November 25-17, very close. So look for the second set to be very close like it was their last time they played against each other, 25-21. Hopefully we can be seeing a very good game of volleyball, potentially 4, potentially 5 sets, but the Wolves needed that first set. They got what they needed and what they wanted.
Yeah, hopefully they'll start snowballing after this set, acquiring here. I'm hoping that the coaching is telling the team right now that they're doing well, just got to clean up the act just a little bit. 1 minute left here on the break in between sets. Going to be going to the second one.
And with that, we will be right back. Wolves lead 1-0. And we're back here after the switch from first to second set. The Wolves going left to right. The Grizzlies going right to left here.
Do we have any Georgia Grizzly fans in the house? Grizzly fans.
As we're getting set for the second set. What a first set we saw from both teams, especially that first point. That was a long rally from these two squads. We're going to keep it up here. Let's see if we can keep having a great volleyball game in front of us as both teams are fighting for a nice playoff run here. Last game of the regular season here. Serving it up to start is the Grizzlies. Paquette runs to go this one. ATA from the left side will send it up. Roy across to Carroll. Nice job by Tentori. St. Louis. Over it goes to Pate. Right side here is going to be Emma Cott with the point here for her squad. As it will be the Grizzlies who get the first point here and not the Wolves like the first set. So that's a switch there.
Bit of a misplay on the block there, but that's how it goes. Service is up. Gonna have a net violation for the Wolves. It's gonna be a point for Georgian. Keeping the service hot streak going here. Fishing for the third. Roy. Ball's up. And it is a little bit too short. Hits the net. That's going to be a point for the Wolves.
Grace Pate serving it here. Georgian lead 2-1. Serve goes over the net and it's good. Ashton Smith here to Roy. Roy to Sajda. That one's digged up by Pate. From the back line. What a spike attempt here. What a spike indeed from Karis Territory. Tying this one back up 2-2. Grace Pate once more here. 0.62 service aces per set. Smith to Roy. Roy has to be sent off by Sajda from a weird angle here. Roy runs to go this one. Brooklyn Smith. Her attempt gets blocked here at the net by Tarango and ATA. Pate digs it up here. Will be Paquette running. Will get this one. Tentori over it goes. And over it does! A diving attempt from Carroll unsuccessful as Ashton Smith was there. Was not able to get that one up. 3-2 Wolves get their first lead of the second set.
Great rally so far here in the second set. The Wolves are in it for the money. Ball's up.
Smith sends it up here, and Smith will attack it down. From the right side, Carroll, Fag will bump it up. This one's up here, and Paquette will have to send it over. Roy to Smith in the middle here. Tentori. Tarango with a nice attack here, and it's cannot be played back in from the Georgian Grizzlies as Cott misplays that one.
Forcing the issues here. Great service so far. Serving for one more point.
Roy to Carroll. Nice play by Carroll. Sideswiping that ball. Blocked on the net by Smith. Pate runs back to get this one. ATA with a nice tap here. At the net, Tarango. And Smith battling out, and it will be Carroll who cannot get that one, and the Wolves get a 3-point lead.
Some points you don't want to block the ball, especially if it's going to give them a nice opportunity to just run offense one more time, and that's what we saw here. Ball's up.
Grace Pate, another serve here from her. She digs this one up. Paquette outside the ATA. Sajda will, with her right arm, sends it across her teammate here. Tentori up to Paquette. Tarango knocks it over. Smith running will get this one. Carroll sends it over. Fag. Paquette, ATA, and it's going to be at the net. And it will be Georgian ball as that ball hit the side post. And it will be Georgian who gets a much needed point as they were down a bit here. They were up, down, so hopefully here we can see them going on the run as they serve here. Just touched the net. ATA will send it over from outside the court. Smith over to Tentori. Paquette back to ATA. ATA with a powerful attack. And a powerful attack. A little too much for the Georgian Grizzlies and Carroll to send it back up here. And the Wolves will get the point here 6-3.
Great recognition on identifying that the ball was going out of bounds here. Service provided by Etier. Ball's up.
Smith diving down to go. There's this one. Roy sends it across to Cott. Carroll sending it up to Roy. Carroll from the back line to Rango with the blocking attempt, and she does that very well. And Pate tried to get that one deep in the right corner and misses the court completely there, and it will be the Grizzlies who will get the 4th point here. 6-4. Wolves still lead by 2.
Substitution made for the Grizzlies here. Number 4 is off. 13 is on. Ball's up.
Bakes on for Smith. And that one from the left side is good. As Tantori jumps up for that one. And it is blocked, but it will be blocked out of play as St. Louis off, Lancia on for the Wolves. Tarango. Her serve goes out of play, and that's what you don't want. If you're the Wolves, you don't want your serve to go over the back line and out of bounds, because those are just free points.
Yeah, can't be having these unforced errors here. I'm loving the mind games coming off the serve, but I wish it was more consistent.
Paquette with the attack here. Haven't seen much from her on the attack side as she sets up her teammate most times.
Immaculate block there.
Paquette. Pate has to touch this one over. Smith will send it right back to Cott. Cott out of play, and the Wolves will get the ball there. Still a great rally from both teams here, as it will be Fag on, St. Louis off, and it will be Lozon and Pate who will sub on and off the court, as Gabby Paquette, 0.27 serve aces per set, sends this one over. Ball's up, and Sajda sends it over the net. Fag up to Lozon. That one out of play, and she tried to get that left back corner, Lucas.
Yeah, I saw the vision on the play, but alas, a little bit too much force on their service. Georgian.
Paquette Lozon from the left side, sent it over. Smith diving down to get that one. Carroll, over it goes. Eitze digs this one up to Paquette. Tantori with a nice touch here. Roy, she gets it over the net. Attacked here by Tantori, blocked at the net. Right side, Sajda. St. Louis up here. Lancia with a touch. What a play by Riley Lancia. She saw an opening and she took advantage of it.
Little love tap to secure a point here. 9-6, up by 3.
Tantori with the serve. Roy sets up her teammate there. It goes over. Loza from the right side now. Her shot gets blocked here. Another tapped here from the midcourt here from Bakes. Carroll from the left side. Up it goes. Paquette runs to go this one. Eitze. Her attack gets blocked here, but it will go out of play. It will be a point for Algonquin. Double digits. Wolves lead by 4. What a play from the Wolves.
Wolves have been pressing the issue all game so far, and it's looking real good. 10-6 service for the Wolves. And some final net adjustments in before service.
Tantori. Serve is good. Smith will get it to Roy. Carroll bumps it over. Lozo has to retrieve it. Off the net goes, and Bakes was not in the right position there, Lucas. She thought the ball was going in a different way, and it just touched the net and was able to give the Wolves the point.
Yeah, I saw a misplay happening, but great recovery leading into a point. You know, both teams were confused on the misplay. 11-6, ball's up.
Tantori with the serve. Smith has to go down and get this one. Carroll, her attack, is a good attack, but it Going to be a net violation. Algonquin 12-6. Timeout Georgian. They are early compared to the first timeout they took in the first set. The Wolves lead by 6, and they have a lot of momentum that carried over for them here on senior night. Last regular season game for the 2025-2026 volleyball season. We'll be right back after this Grizzlies timeout. And we're back here, 12-6. Georgia needed timeout to recuperate and talk to each other, make sure they're on the same page and continue diving in this second set. Tentori, up it goes. Smith sends it up to Roy, back line. It goes, and it will be a point for the Grizzlies. And it will be caught with the point there for her squad. Tasha Bakes with the serve here. Running to get it is Paquette. St. Louis will send it over. Miscommunication there, but Paquette was able to get there. Carroll with a block from Lozon, and Lozon will be able to get it for her squad. What a play by Natasha Lozon, as she's able to block that one and put it with no one in the area to retrieve it. Lancia serving it once more. Roy, backline caught, and that one's good. So we saw Lozon with a great attack, and we're seeing Caught with a great attack of her own there.
Call it a counter attack. Up by 5 are the Wolves. The lead is slowly dwindling. Had such a commanding lead from this timeout. I'm hoping that they made use of it, telling them their weaknesses. They need to tighten up the play. Speaking of tighten up, misplay on the service there.
As Roy missing her serve there. Natasha Lozon serving here for the Wolves. Over it goes. Roy sends it across. Lozon bumps it up to Paquette. Aitzia from the left side. Sajda is there. Right side, it's hit by Carroll. Aitzia, and it will not be able to get retrieved off the Aitzia attack as Caught dived down to retrieve it. And it will be Wolves' ball here.
Yeah, off the arm on a bad angle here. We're getting substitutions coming in.
Carroll's off here for the Grizzlies. And I don't have the number as of right now for the sub here for Georgia. Once I get it, I will let you guys know. And Tarango gets the nice little touch over the net and gets the points for her squad as they're slowly getting away from the Grizzlies on the scoreboard. Lozon, over it goes. Roy sets up Smith. Lozon diving to get there. Fake, back to Tentori. Tentori with a light attack there. And the attack off, I do believe that is number 1. Monica Kochanovsky. Sorry about the mispronunciation there on the name.
You did good. I think it's like an Eastern European last name. You did great. Almost getting that for her team. Trying to dig it up, but it's at too steep of an angle.
And The Grizzlies are 1 point away from getting double digits here.
Service is up. 17-9 for our Wolves.
Paquette to Lozo. Lozo with a touch, but it came off weird off her hand there, and it was able to get played back in from the block attempt from the Grizzlies, and the Grizzlies hit double digits, getting a couple points back to back here. As Grizzlies serving it up here. Loza from the back line, up it goes. Roy to Sajda. Sajda with a fast attack there, but it's played well by Tentori. Over it goes from Etier. Lozo touches it over from Smith here. And that one is deflected off Sajda and Smith's hands, and it redirects right down in the middle of the court, and it will be the Wolves who will escape with the point there. 18-10. Wolves lead by 8 as Chanel Etier up to the serve line here for the Wolves. Etier.
Great offense being played here from the Wolves.
Up it goes. And no one there for the Grizzlies as Coach Anowski bumps it up, but her teammate caught was not there, and that forces the Grizzlies to call the second timeout of the second set. 19-10. Wolves lead by 9. Lucas, so far, what are you liking from this Wolves team? Because they're playing with a little bit more fire than we're usually seeing them play with.
Well, I think they've tightened up their mistakes, which has allowed them to run more of an offense right now. Up by 9 points. You don't just get there from pure luck. I mean, I know Georgia have been making some mistakes here and there, but that's at least 2 or 3 points. Pure offensive power here, communication.
100%, and Georgian has to talk things over, has to get something going in their favor. Usually when the team that calls the timeout comes out of that timeout and gets a couple points going, but we haven't seen that from Georgia. They called the timeout in the first set, called their first timeout of the second set. They haven't been able to really get something going after the timeout. So hopefully, maybe after this timeout, they can go on a bit of a run, because if the Wolves get 6 more points, they win the second set, go up 2-0, and that puts the Georgia Grizzlies' backs against the wall when they play in the third set there. And if they want to push it further, they gotta win this one. Winning the second set, going 1-1, is back to normal. Then you just play volleyball. But if you go back down 0-2, it's not looking good here.
Well, yeah, no, I played sports, and let me tell you, when there was a massive lead from the opposition, the mental is not all there.
And just like that, mentioned after timeout, can Georgian get the point? And they were able to get the point off the missed serve from Chanel Etier. Brooklyn Smith on the serve here for Georgian.
Ball's up.
And both teams trading out of play service here, as it will be a substitution here. Tarango will sub off for the Wolves. Ella Howell, she's also one of these seniors graduating here. Now we saw this ceremony before the game. Her serve is good, and Smith misplays that one. And for the 21st point of the night, 10-point lead comes up. Ella Howell's serve, as she's playing in her 6th game here of the year, and she's able to get the point here for her squad.
Ball's up. Great offense being ran here by Algonquin. But speaking of, a nice spike, giving Georgian the much-needed point.
Caught with the attack there. 2.06 kills per set for Emma Cott, getting one right there. 5'11" player for this Georgian team. A lot of height there. A lot of players 5'11", 5'10" for this Georgian squad. As that serve hits the net. 22-12 here. Wolves still lead by 10. And it will be Gabby Paquette in for the serve here.
There's not a single person on the Georgians team that is above 6 feet, nor is even at 6 feet. Great block.
Coming from the left side. Tentori. That attack's too fast. as Kira Rogers is unable to bump that one up, and the Wolves are a couple points shy away from winning this second set here. Paquette, over it goes. Over the net, and this one cannot be saved from Kochanowski, and the Wolves 1 point away from winning this set. And it would be a great win for the Wolves if they can get this one here. Paquette, over it goes. Roy, over it goes from the Grizzlies. Fag will set up Natasha Lozon. Roy diving to get this one. Smith to caught. And it's blocked at the net by Lancia and Lozon, but it will redirect out of bounds. And Georgian gets their 13th point of the night. They got a lot of work here to do. One mistake gives the Wolves the win. Paquette to Lozon. Out of play. So if you're the Grizzlies, you got to keep getting those free points and keep getting points on the board. 1 point, like I mentioned just a while ago. 1 point like this here. Algonquin gets the win in the second set. And the Wolves win this one 25-14 as they carried a lot of momentum here, as it was Algonquin who got the first set in the last matchup, and Georgian getting the win in their second set. But here today, Algonquin is able to get 2 wins here in the first 2 sets. So hopefully we can see a clean sweep here, possibly from the Wolves. But Georgian, they got to find a way to get back in this one. They got to find a way to score more than 14 points to try to win the set. What do the Georgian Grizzlies have to do offensively to score more points? Because they lead the league in total attacks with 2019. So they got to find a way to really get something going on the offensive side.
I think it's you got to be blocking up these shots here from the Wolves. I'm liking it whenever I see a blocking play happen, but they've been lapsing it on this second set here.
And they got to find a way to get in better spots defensively, because right now we're seeing a lot of open areas in this Georgian defense that's creating Algonquin easy attempts to. We see with Paquette in that second set just knocking it down. She's able to really get stuff going, and that's why she's the setter for this team. She's able to really create big opportunities for her team on both sides of the ball. We'll be right back. Third, potentially final set. Wolves lead 2-0. And we're back here. Wolves going right to left. Grizzlies going left to right. The Wolves, their last 10 games are 6-4. So that's for the Wolves. 4 of their 5 losses come in the last 10 games. Big game here today, Lucas. Big playoff implicating game here. Hopefully they can get something going here if you're the Grizzlies, because they're kind of falling back here. They're not playing their style of volleyball that we've seen them play throughout the year. They got to find a way to get on the offensive side a little more, get points going, but they got to find a way to play better defense because right now the Wolves are taking over, and we'll get Pate with the first serve to start it off.
Wolves are trying to run it all the way to the bank with this one, up 2 sets.
And the Wolves get the first point quicker than the last 2 sets. Not a big rally going here, but first 2 sets, the Wolves scored the first point in the first set. Grizzlies got the second set first point, and here the Wolves get the first point. So the Wolves won both sets, as they're looking to get this one and get the clean sweep over the Georgian Grizzlies. Over the net it goes from Tentori. Roy sets up Carol, and Carol will get her attack to fall and giving her squad their first point of the third set. They got to get going here. You got to lean on Carol. You got to lean on Ashton Smith to get stuff going. You got to find a way to get on the offensive side because they can attack the ball very well, but they got to minimize those errors like that one right there. Number 1 in serve errors in the province. So they got to find a way to get that back here, but that's been a season issue for them. If you talk about one thing, is those service errors there. Chanel Etier, up it goes. Smith has to dive down to get that. Roy, nice job here from the Grizzlies as caught, gets a nice attack from that left side. And that Algonquin defense, a lot of open area for them. They got to find a way to get back together, track back, and not be able to allow these open areas for the Georgian Grizzlies to take advantage of.
Yeah, shifting more to the offense here, especially for Georgia. As I say that, big mistake, too strong on that serve.
Back-to-backs, missed serve from the Grizzlies, giving the Wolves the lead here. 3-2, Wolves lead by just 1 here. Tarango, up it goes. Roy to Bakes here, nice play by Pate. Backline, Etier, as that one is right at the net here with the blocking attempt from Roy and Sajda. And that's one thing that this Georgian Grizzlies team does very well. They're very present on the net battle game. They're really there at the net. Every time that Algonquin goes up, they're there to get a play defensively on that.
Speaking of, great blocking play from Georgian here.
See, just set up something to say. Talk about the blocking, and they listen. They go, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna give the audience what you're talking about. Give them a little preview, and that right there, that's what they gave us.
Didn't know Seth could see into the future here.
Tentori's attack gets blocked, and the Wolves are losing points early here, as the Grizzlies do not want to get swept here, as the Grizzlies are trying to win this game to get up in these East standings here, as they're 5th right now in the East, and they're getting another point here. Oh, I thought it was deflected, and the Wolves will get the point. Well needed point for the Wolves. 5-4, Georgian leads by 1.
Last touch off the foot there, Seth.
Gabby Paquette, 0.27 serve aces per set, serving it up here for the Wolves. A nice diving attempt from Gabby Paquette as Tentori attacks it over. Caught, over it goes, and over the inbound line it goes, and it will be the Wolves who tie this one back up 5 apiece here, as Paquette will go for a second serve here. Grace Pate off, Natasha Lozo on. Lucas, so far we're seeing the Grizzlies have a bit more momentum coming in, especially they don't want to lose this third set, but a lot of fire that they're playing with. And right now Algonquin is coming back, like we're seeing right now with Paquette off that great attack. Algonquin is coming right back in this one, being down early in the third set.
Yeah, you play with fire, you get burned, and right now the Wolves are angry. You know, moving up for one of the first few times in this set, up by 1 point. I'm loving the offense that they're running here, Seth. It's just constant sitting at the front of the net, going for these spikes. Great dig. Ultimately leads to a point for Georgian as it goes out of bounds. Last touch Wolves.
And we mentioned that Algonquin, for them to get a win here today, they have to exploit high offense gameplay, and they're doing that right now in these first 3 sets. And what I like more than what they're doing offensively is their IQ of the game. They're playing fast, but they're able to slow it down when it comes to this. Earlier in the year, we would have had one of the players from Algonquin go and touch it when it goes out of play. And right here, that is like the 4th or 5th one we saw here today, where the IQ is really speaking out from this Algonquin team when the ball is going out or in.
Well, it's the years of experience that lets you develop this courtside IQ here, Seth. Being able to identify if that ball's in bounds, if it's out, should I play it, should I not? What's the best possible play to do at any given moment?
Great rally, and what a finish from Carroll and the Georgian Grizzlies, tying this one right back up to 7 apiece. Great attack from Carroll off that left side. Carroll, 2.49 kills a set, playing in their 15th game of the year. Hitting percentage of .164. Nice play by her, getting the point for the Georgian Grizzlies, but Algonquin will get the point right back, and it will be Riley Lancia playing in her 10th game of the year. 0.33 serve aces per set, serving it up for the Wolves. Roy will set up Sajda, and it will be Tentori running back with Lancia, but Etienne will be the one sending it over. Carroll deflected off Lozon's hand there. Etienne will touch it right in the middle of play. Backline caught. Paquette sends it up to Lancia. Lozon will give a nice little tap over. It goes. Sajda. Paquette here. Lozon from the right side. Attacks it and attacks it with force and power and gets the point for the Wolves. As that was one of the best rallies we've seen here. Multiple rallies in this game as the Wolves are 1 point away from hitting double digits.
Great spike into the arm, but such a poor unforced error on the service there. You know, I would say if we're up, I'd tell my teammates, hey, let's go for the safer serves. We don't really need these services that are such aggressive. You know, that would have been nice, but keep it simple here. Service is up for Georgian.
Paquette will send it right back to Lozon. Lozon with a great attack. Sajda runs back out of play to get this one. St. Louis. Paquette and Tarango deflects it off her own attack. Blocked at the net by Brooklyn Smith. Tarango. Paquette here. Paquette will set up Tentori. Roy had to play it up. Sajda with a nice attack there. Just a little touch. Just a little touch over the net, giving her team the point there, tying this one up at 9-9, and it will be Roy who will serve this one up for Georgian, trying to get her team the 10th point here for their squad. Down to get it is Tentori, and down to get it was Smith, but she cannot play that one back up, and the Wolves are the first team to get to double digits. 10-9, the Wolves lead by 1 with Natasha Lozon at the serve line for Algonquin.
Getting deja vu from yesterday's set. This is what it looked like the entire day. Just back and forth point exchanges.
Lozon from the white line sends it over. Bumped up by Smith and sent over by Carroll, and Carroll gets the point for her squad. What a play from Georgian. Carroll once again at the end of the Georgian Grizzlies attack there.
Service for Georgian will be number 6, Miss Carroll. Ball's up.
Nice play by Paquette to save that one. Over from Tentori. Smith attacks that one, and Lozon with her quick reflexes, was only able to stand still, get her right hand up, and that one goes out of play, and Georgian takes the lead here. I think this third set, Lucas, will be very, very close finish. Either team can really win this third set.
It's anybody's game here. Serving is good.
Low zone, over it goes. Ashton Smith to Roy, to Cott. What a block by Gabby Paquette! As Gabby Paquette at the net once more for the Wolves. As she gets that one to block. As Tarango is shaking up with her, holding her left hand. Hopefully she'll be okay. Etier sending it over. And that one goes over the back line, and Georgian retakes the lead here by 1, 12-11.
You know, inherently you do have to take some risks on the service here, but so far back-to-back, Etier has failed her service, I want to say twice in a row. Putting a little bit too much power on it. Ball's up.
Smith serving it up, and it goes. Tarango! Deflected from Carol, as she was not in the right position to receive that one. She was a little too up there, Lucas, instead of being back in her defensive position.
Great play.
Tarango, over it goes. Roy bumps it up from the white line. Carol goes and gets the point once again, as Carol's up to 7 kills on the afternoon, and tied with Chanel Etier for second with the most kills for both teams here. Tantori with a nice little tap. Roy, and at the net, it will be Koch who wins that one. And the Wolves get the attack right there and get the point, as they get right back in this one. Just tied the game back up. We're seeing 1 point leads. We're seeing tie game. We're seeing 1 point leads, Lucas. I do think it's going to come down to the last couple points here for this third set.
It might go in a deuce here, Seth, but I'm all here for it. I'd rather that than have a slow game here.
Fake. Sent in by Riley Lancia. Paquette sets her teammate up the best way possible, and Lancia finds the open area. And right there, Lucas, you mentioned it during our break from second to third set. That back line, there's a lot of open area in the Georgian defense.
Yeah, you got to patch up those holes and patch them up quick here. Great block from Algonquin.
Caught. Nice little tip there, but Paquette diving to get this one. Bumped over by Lozon. Smith to Roy here. Caught. Blocked by Lozon. Lancia with a nice tip. That one's in play. What a play by Riley Lancia. Knocking it down where there's open area. Lancia, 315 hit percentage, getting the 2 point lead for her squad here.
Keeping the service up for the Wolves. Spike is blocked.
Big block from Riley Lancia, who got the point earlier. She gets back-to-back points. Her and Lozon double teaming on that block. And the Wolves get 3 points here, separating from the Grizzlies. And it will be Paquette on the serve. She puts it up and over. Karanowski sent it over to Cott. Fake. Tantori off the arm of Kawanowski, and the Wolves will get the point there. Again, Paquette serving once more.
Timeout is called from Georgia. I was going to mention, but beat me to it. I'm looking for the timeout call here with such a great deficit.
But Lucas, what can we say about Georgian? They had a bit of momentum, and right now it looks like with the Algonquin 4 point lead, the Algonquin is really the team that's carrying a lot of momentum. It's going to carry this one to victory. But the Grizzlies, what do they have to do in this third set to force a fourth one?
They just got to force the issue. You know, Algonquin's really great when it comes to setting up their spikes. because it's a defensive breakdown. There's no player on Georgian is positioned right to try and counter and dig up this spike. So if we give them a taste of their own medicine, they'll be more focused on the D rather than the O.
100% Lucas, as the Grizzlies and the Wolves back on the court after the Georgian timeout. Gabby Paquette serving it once again for the Wolves. Paquette has to dive to get this one over. Lancia Smith up to Carroll. Carroll to Cott. Cott sends it over. Out of play it goes. Great job by Fag and HCA, both discussing and realizing that the ball's going out of bounds. You do not need to touch it. And it will be a point for them. Paquette at the serve line again as she gets 5 serves in a row.
Ball's up.
And she just knocks it very slow in. Kalinowski up to Roy. Faye backs up to get this one. Paquette to Tentori. And running back to get is Carroll. Roy sends it over. And it's blocked at the net by Bakes.
I mentioned, Seth, when you're up this much, you don't want to be risking anything with those serves. Keeping it nice and simple, making sure it's going to get in the box.
Brooks with the serve for the Georgian Grizzlies. St. Louis bumps it up to Paquette.
Off the arm, a little bit too strong there.
Tentori. 3.23 kills per set. Hitting percentage 299. Hitting that one over as she gets her 11th kill on the night and leading both teams as of right now. Kalinowski up to Bakes. Nice play by Tentori. Loza over goes. Smith sets up Carroll. Diving is Fag, and misplayed is Paquette. And the Grizzlies will get the point there. Wolves still lead by 4.
Nice demanding lead from the Wolves, but it is slowly shrinking. This is still anybody's set. It's up in the air. 19-15.
As Bakes was just a little too fast with her serve, not waiting for the whistle. That serve over the net it goes. St. Louis jumps in front and gets it. Tentori will send it over. And it will be out of play. And it will be Georgian ball. Let's see here. They're down by 3, 19-16. Wolves need 6 points to win the third set and the game. Let's see if they can get something going. Use this serve here to start something for the team. St. Louis with a nice diving attempt here. And HCA off the left side. Open area once more in that middle of this Georgian defense. And the Wolves will get the point right there.
Great identification of those holes. I'm loving what I'm seeing here, but you can't be putting that much risk on the service. Another unforced error coming from Algonquin, giving up the serving chance. 20-17 for the Wolves. Wolves need 5 more. Serve is up. And that is way too far out of bounds, back to back.
Just trading missed serves there as the Wolves are down 4 with Lozon and Pate switching here. And Pate will be the one serving it here with her team down 4 points of winning the third and winning the game.
Ball's up. Keeping it simple, I like it.
And there's a missed defensive play here as the Wolves were not in the right position defensively, and the Georgian Grizzlies take full advantage of that. Carroll up to serve for the Grizzlies.
Only down by 3 are the Grizzlies, 21-18, balls up. Keeping it simple. Nice tap!
What a play from Algonquin as that is exactly what they've been able to do. Find those open areas and take full advantage of it.
Immaculate play. All night we've been seeing, or more so all day, it's still the middle of the day, we have been seeing these spikes going through, but the light taps is what makes it.
Cambria Alford serving it up here. She gets in the game for her first time. And once again, a miscommunication on defense for Algonquin, as Alford will sub off and Aitse will sub on.
Service for Georgian provided by number 7, Miss Smith. 3 more points needed for the Wolves.
Smith serving it up here. Over it goes. Tentori will send it to Paquette. Right back to Tentori. And she puts it down! And Carroll cannot get that one up. As Tarango and Pate will sub each other on and off here.
Great plays from the offensive line here on the Wolves. Always spiking it into the hands of an unsuspecting player. They're not ready for it. What was that? Nice tap there. Keeping the offense to Georgian.
Aitse, up it goes. Nice rally from both teams here. Blocked here from Paquette. Over and in for Georgian, finding open area in the back line for the Wolves. And on that last serve for the Wolves, it was number 7, Anna Marie Valente, serving in for the Wolves. My apologies there. St. Louis in the game here now.
I believe that is Emma Cott on the service here for Georgian. 2 more points needed for the Wolves to secure this match.
That ball goes up here. Georgian has to retrieve it. Over the net it goes. Sajda able to get it over. Paquette sets up Lancia. What a play by Lancia and Paquette. Lancia, you've seen her do that multiple times as she goes and runs from the middle to the right and able to get that cross pass. 1 more point for the sweep here as you see the men's team having the brooms out. Paquette over it goes. And it hits the net.
Sweep is still possible.
It still is.
1 more point is required. And knowing the Georgian team, this is quite possibly going to be an unforced error on the service here.
Over it goes. St. Louis. Paquette. And the Wolves win off Lancia's touch. 3-0. The Wolves get to 11-5 on the regular season. And the Georgian Grizzlies fall 9-7. The Wolves really securing that playoff matchup that they want, finishing third, likely finishing in 3rd place here as they were down 2 games from Durham, who's right over them. And they were able to really get where they want to go. And what a game from both of these teams, Lucas.
This is a great send-off game for the seniors here, but with the win of this game, they are guaranteed a spot in the playoffs. It's going to be a nice one, Seth. What did you appreciate the most out of watching this match?
Well, it's how well the Wolves played and how well they're able to go from yesterday's loss, 3-0 loss against Seneca, and able to come in to today and win 3-0 against the Georgian Grizzlies. So they played a great job here today. Algonquin was really able to find their offensive keys, able to utilize what was given to them and finding those open areas in that Georgian defense, and especially in that back line and those little touches in that middle of that Georgian defense that we just saw Lancia take advantage of. We saw Paquette take advantage of multiple times. That right there is good for Algonquin and bad for Georgian. But that defense for Algonquin, the amount of digs that they're able to produce, they're able to win the second set 25-14. That's a big differential in points. And that right there is started from that defense. But we mentioned IQ a lot from this Algonquin Wolves team.
courtside, I sorry to interrupt you, but
No,
it's not a stat that you can measure. It's just something that it's a feeling. You know, I hate interrupting you, sadly, I know that, but you can't train courtside IQ. It's experience, it's hardship, it's years of playing is what gets you this.
And don't worry about interrupting me, but right there is exactly what it is. That IQ from playing is what get them those points. Like, they were able to get a lot of points off of that. Georgian, their defense had a lot of issues today. The open areas in that backcourt, when the players were a little too advanced, that right there caused them, for Algonquin, to utilize that and seen that, and they put the ball where it needs to go. That's why a lot of times when they'll serve, you saw them going light. You saw a lot of times on those attacks, the Wolves are just lightly touching the ball, and that right there was creating points. And that middle for the Georgian Grizzlies defense was wide open. Algonquin were taking advantage of that all day. They had a lot of trouble. They were struggling finding an offensive game plan, and they weren't able to get much points, especially in that second set, only scoring 14. So they had to get more points going. They had that in the third set here, but it was too late for when they actually started getting. If they were playing like this in the first two sets, we would have been still going in for a fourth set here. Missed serves. They're ranked first in missed serves in the entire province right now, and that a lot of them here today got Algonquin easy points. Any last words from today's game that you want to mention?
Just want to highlight the great usage of the spikes onto the back end, typically the live player, and it bounces off the arms out of play. Great recognition there. Such powerful spikes. Hopefully you can pick them up on the microphone. So loud.
100% here, as on senior night, the Wolves women volleyball team was able to get a clean sweep over the Georgian Grizzlies, and we're looking forward to the playoffs as Algonquin, as of right now, sitting comfortably in the third seed in the East. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. The men's are playing the Georgian Grizzlies in about 30 minutes. I'm Seth Poirier alongside Lucas Gallo. We'll be right back for the men's volleyball game.